once in Japan, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I think I'd say about a third of the people on here have been to Japan at least once.
Oh, okay.
So they're not all news, but there will be a lot of new questions. So I have to answer those as well. Some questions I've answered like 30, 40 times at this point.
Okay.
Like, how do I get a visa? It's half as easy as American Express. That's it.
Yes, we're really here.
Yeah, Nakene is mocking the other people who ask, are you really in Tokyo? At every show there's at least one person who's like, are you really in Tokyo?
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I have to show Asian people and be like, yeah, I am.
No, we hire Asian people to sit behind us.
Also, start recording, and you're feel free to use this button as well. If you think you're going to say something that's filled with wisdom, hit the button first, then repeat the question that was asked, and explain.
There you go. Yeah, I have been on the show before. Thank you.
She's been on the show before.
I hope she's not disappointed.
I know.
You've been on it before.
It's like,
are you running out of people?
Actually, no, I've gotten that question. It's like, no, I just like that person a lot. Is there something wrong with that? You know, that I can't have people back, you know?
Yeah.
And do you know Dave has found this like 3 times, I think.
Oh, really?
Just because I used to shoot a lot in Davis, and Dave would always happen to be in the coffee shop where I do. He'd like walk in and be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, it's an internet thing. When I do it, it's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, sure.
All right. You know, I got nothing else to do. So, yeah. You were in the comic in Nagano.
Oh, yes, I was.
My YouTube video.
I got the only comments I got was she has very crazy hair.
You don't have to be it's not crazy.
Well, I was the same color as the snow in the video. It's like,
Oh, and actually, there might be some other business. So the ramen thing is going to be airing. I found out this morning that we have one more day of filming on Saturday, and then the studio film is going to be not next week, but the week after. So, yeah, the ramen show will air, I'm guessing, 3 weeks from this Wednesday, if I had to guess. But I mean, again, I'm on Twitter when it's going to air, so don't worry, I will never eat ramen ever again. I just did a ramen episode for this travel show I did.
Right.
For Shame.
Yeah.
And I ate something like 9 ramens in the last 30 days.
What?
I know.
What?
Yeah. And then when we finished it, we wrapped it over 3 days of filming. It's like, yeah, here's the thing. One more shop Saturday. I was like, no, you're fucking kidding. No, seriously.
Did you have to eat the whole bowl?
I didn't have to, but I did. Because you know the ramen guilt, right?
No,
like when the ramen chef is, and these are like, you know, really good ramen, like famous ones that people stand in line on for hours to get into.
Yeah.
You have this like guy in a, you know, the, what do we call it? What's that called? The bandana, towel wrapped around his head, staring at you, being like, wasn't good. Didn't like it. It's like, no, it's just, I gotta eat like another. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like it's just out of sheer like Catholic guilt that I was like, oh, I gotta eat all this.
What? You know, like when I go through that a little bit too. You know, I just look at him and I go.
I've eaten so many things I hated, and actually I got so good at this. I used to do this sushi shop in my old neighborhood. This was in my YouTube episode where I was like, I ate whale. Same shop. I used to go to that shop, and I put a vinyl plastic bag from like, you know, Family Mart in my pocket, so that I could like move stuff into my pocket, like pretend to eat it, and then I go to the bathroom and then spit it out into the toilet, and then put the rest of it like in this vinyl bag in my pocket. It feels like there would be so many occasions where they're like, this is one of the most expensive things we have at this shop. This customer here would like to buy it for you. And I'd be like, oh, thank you. I love awabi. You know, it's nice, but it's like nasty. But I had to go like, oh, this is so good. What's that over there? Like, stow it away in my pocket.
Oh, they love me because I can't lie with my face. Like someone bought me uni.
Oh, no.
This stuff's nasty. Anything that color should be a fruit.
And the thing is, the only people I know who like uni or gaijin are gaijin who just got here and they're trying to pretend they're all down with Japan.
Oh, I know.
They're like, oh, I love this. This is awesome. Just like Mom used to not make, you know. And you're like, no, dude, you hate that.
No,
But you're just trying to be like Japaneseier than now.
Yeah, I do lie about it though, because when someone goes, do you eat natto? And if I get this sense like they think, no, of course not, she's foreign, she can't like it. Yeah, I like it.
Alright, I'm gonna ask a couple things. Sadly, the geisha episode, Park 75 is uploaded. That's a really good one actually, because I think geisha is a much misunderstood thing.
Yeah.
Because you generally watch like PBS documentaries about it.
Yeah.
So this to be honest, is much better because I think it's a more realistic view of geisha.
Yeah.
Which I should point out by the way, don't really exist anymore.
Not
Geisha,
really. Not really.
there's probably what,
expensive.
200 of them?
Something like that.
Like literally.
I've met one before. I've met one in
How old is
Tokyo. She was 24, 25.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It's like the majority of geisha are probably over 70.
Oh yeah.
And there's actually young geisha, there's probably like 30 in the country. Like it's a very dying, because like young girls don't see the point of doing all that training to get paid to be sexy.
No, it's
like legitimate.
It's on par with
Like-
joining the circus.
Yes. Oh, excellent metaphor. It's like joining the circus.
It
basically.
really is, because you can't have a regular life after that. You're in.
You're in. That's it. And that's your
Yeah.
life from then on.
Yeah.
And there's no way to watch old JWTV episodes yet. But
We're in Ikebukuro, by the way.
as we speak, pretty much, literally as we speak, the president of my company is lobbying the Japanese government to change the laws, the communication laws, so that we can allow video on demand. So basically, it's illegal for now. We can't do VOD because of contractual obligations and also legal issues. I know. This is why you can't watch BBC episodes on YouTube unless you live in the UK. So there's a lot of weird reasons, and they're all legal. Hopefully that will be taken care of by within 6 to 8 months, at which point we're going to put all of the old episodes up on VOD. So at that point you can watch old episodes, but until we get laws changed, you have to watch it when it's airing, or you won't see it. Or watch Parker 75, who illegally uploads them. Damn you!
I thought you were going to say watch Parker Lewis Don't Lose.
Yeah.
Or Can't Lose, or whatever that's.
Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a good show.
What's it called?
And actually, my prop Emmett Smith wrote for that show too.
Did he?
Did he?
Oh.
It was canceled
Damn.
in one season.
It's too good for
It was like kind of a, oh, wow, that's great that you wrote for that, but wasn't that canceled after one season? It's like, hey, business industry. It's a tough place to work. You got to be ready for the unexpected.
I wouldn't say
Wait,
that.
why are you a professor of television if your show got canceled after a year?
It's more than what you've done, little boy.
Exactly.
There you go.
She reminds me of that one Muppet. Oh, you're right. I know exactly the Muppet you mean too. No offense though, but I often.
Wait, is it the long-haired Muppet with the big lips?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
shit.
the one. That's the one. It's the long hair with what I think has one eye. She always had her hair covering half her face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can handle that kind of eye. Like, I was like, I look at that chick with one eye. What? Ouch, that hurts.
All right, sorry. Now that's enough of updates from
Miss
us.
Piggy. Well, she's wonderful. Miss Piggy's wonderful.
I mean, people let's start again with the reintroduction.
Okay, all right.
Internet. This is Spring. Spring Day, and yes, that is her real name. Wow, that's your real name.
It is. It is.
How high were your parents when they named you that?
Extremely. They still haven't come down from that.
Is there any brief way you can explain how you could have ended up with the name Spring Day?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, I'm a twin.
Alright.
My dad said, let's name him Spring and Sprung. And my mom said, no, that sounds all right. And the nurses said, no. It's true. And so they're like, yeah, let's name him Spring and Sprung. And the nurses said, no, that's not. When you come down from whatever it is they gave her, the epidural, you'll thank
She
us.
wasn't up, yeah.
Yeah. And so they went with Spring and Misty instead.
Is your twin fraternal or
Identical.
identical?
Yeah.
Hold on a second, my brain just has to go someplace.
Yes. Are you fantasizing?
No, I was just remembering that I have
Are you
laundry that needs a good, vigorous washing. Yeah, that's creepy. I've known you for, how many years?
10 maybe?
Maybe 10 years. We're essentially like brother and sister.
Yeah. Have you just thought about sleeping with my sister?
Because it wouldn't be you. No, and actually I was thinking about you sleeping with your sister, for the record. But you asked. But no, seriously, like I've known you for so long.
Yeah.
And for so impassionate a period of time,
Yeah.
which is the world of stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
that like I have absolutely no interest in ever hooking up with you. Which is weird.
No, it's
Because
because
like you're still a woman, I'm still a guy, but we've known each other here for so long, and we've
No, but
done
it's-
so much that it's like this weird,
Yeah.
like I think of you as one of the dudes, because she's also the only female in my comedy group, and we sit around after shows and kvetch about like our shows. We've done this for so long that I forget sometimes that you're actually female.
I know.
And I'll have like other dudes say like, "Hey, is Spring single?" You know, they're like, "Who?"
Really? Right, no,
You know, the blonde one.
Oh, I know.
You mean Dave? Like, no.
No, but I prefer that. I prefer that with the guys in the comedy store.
Yeah.
If I start sleeping with you, God.
Oh God, no, that would be. I think we're all aware how awkward that would make things.
That would be like.
And I should point out for the record, and this is being recorded, put on the internet. I think there was like a 2-year period where Ken Suzuki was trying his damnedest to get you into the sack. I think.
No
Oh yeah,
way.
no. I think in his own little way.
Oh,
In
that's
his own
so
little way, I think
creepy.
that was an effort on his part. But it was like that, like really sad, shy Japanese male effort. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Because I just thought he was trying to buy me a tea. Like, you know,
No. I'm pretty sure that like there was a period, and then he was like, "It's not working." I was like,
No,
then just
nobody told me anything. Nobody
just go
told
back
me.
to sitting by yourself.
Well, no, it doesn't work if you try to ask somebody out telepathically. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You can't just go. "Ooh." It doesn't work that way.
Well, you're talking to comedians.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, if we had any type of social grace, we wouldn't be comedians.
That's true. If we had social skills.
No.
Yeah, but we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. So we're never gonna hook up, but we're always gonna be at the family reunion.
We're always in the family reunion, exactly. So it's sort of like being family. Like actually, no, it really is. Like when you do comedy, it's like being family.
Especially here.
And we've been through some crazy shit like that we can't even get into on there.
Oh, I
And
know.
like not together but individually. That like, and we've always been like pretty much go-to people for like, hey, this stuff's going on in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I
Like,
always
like
call
the-
you in emergencies.
No, exactly. We hang out all the time, but we only ever call each other in emergencies.
Also, Claudia's like that too.
Claudia's like that too.
Every
Anytime I get Cloudy on my Kitai, my cell phone, it's like, oh god. He's either A, trying to sell me drugs, or B, has something really going wrong in his life.
No. When I call Claudia, like one time he answered the phone. He goes, "Okay, so are you?"
Claudia's another comedian.
Yeah, another comedian. He goes, "Are you in physical danger?" It's like, no.
It's like this with just remember, my place is a safe house. Oh god.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's hilarious. I love that guy. And that's the weird thing also, like with Cloudy, so he's been here like 20 years, I guess.
Something like that.
Yeah. I hate hanging out with him,
Why?
but if I ever had anything go down that was really, he'd be the first guy I call.
Yeah.
Because he's been here so long and he's seen so much. He's a trustworthy, honest, good guy.
He really is. He really is. He likes to joke around and stuff.
no, he jokes around, but like-
If you need somebody, he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually, it really is a sense of like, if I was in shit, like you kind of go to like people in Japan who have been here longer, in this weird way of like sensei,
Yeah.
I, the young grasshopper, I'm sure what I should do in this situation.
Well, also,
And then they're like, they talk you down from it, and they're like, hey, here's the deal, this is what you're gonna do. And it's like, it's great, because like you don't, people say like, to me a lot of times, wow, moving to Japan by yourself is scary.
It is
Don't
at
move to
first.
Japan by yourself. Move here to a ghetto of other foreigners who have been through the same thing you went through. And as long as you're not a freak, you can be to them. Not me, I'm not talking about you people talking to me. But like in general, talk to the other foreigner who lives in your gaijin house or is in your circle of people and be like, hey, this stuff went on. What should I do?
Yeah.
Like I remember being literally unemployed and homeless, and like Lenny taking me in.
Yeah.
Lenny and Mal took me to live with them for like 2 years.
Not just took you in, but like, didn't you live in, like on a compound?
Yeah, I lived in New Zealand after 2 years.
Like a chlorine-free pool.
Oh yeah. And like I had Maori neighbors for 2 years. It was like, but it was literally just
we
like.
got a question that's been typed twice. My favorite spot in Ikebukuro, my favorite spot in Ikebukuro is a French restaurant called La Fête. It's near the homeless people park.
Yeah.
That they closed up. It's really, they've got a great lunch. It's really cheap and they're really nice.
My favorite place in Ikebukuro is, it's hard to say, but right next to Esola, the new like apartment store they built.
In the station.
In this little alleyway is a place called Camden Town. It's a British pub run by a Japanese guy. I met him like 9 years ago when he was the manager of the first hub in Ikebukuro.
Oh wow.
Then he opened the new, bigger hub. There's now 4 hubs in Ikebukuro. The hub is like a crappy pub chain.
It's like McDonald's for
But then at one point he's like, wait a minute, why am I bar managing for a chain? Screw this. And he opens up the place. Literally, there are 7 seats in the whole place. If you stand, you could fit at max. During the Holland-Tokyo game, Holland-Japan game, I went down there to see them play. We had, I think, beyond the fire limit of people, and there was like 15 people in the bar.
Wow.
It was packed with 15 people. But he's awesome. He's the most charming, nice guy. And it's not about the place, it's about him. He's the coolest guy I know in Ikebukuro, which is why his place is the best place to be. After that, I'd take Toriyoshi over by that homeless park.
Yeah.
You know, like the Spanish restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah, like El Guapo. Right after that on the right, there's a red sign. It's a Yakitori place, which is awesome. Sorry, that was a long answer.
No, but Ikubukuro's got lots of good places.
But Ikebukuro doesn't have, and I said this in like my 3rd video.
Yeah.
I said Ikebukuro basically is shitty. And like he runs like Pondbag is Dangster actually. That Ikebukuro translates to Pondbag. Now was Ikebukuro a shitty place, and so they named it Pondbag, or because it was called Pondbag, it became a shitty place, like a chicken and the egg kind of thing.
I still
That's like Aoyama, like Blue Mountain. Roppongi, 6 Trees, Shibuya, Cool Valley. Like every other station has awesome names, and they're awesome.
I don't know. I think a bag of pond water sounds pretty
essentially, and some guy argued this with me on that first video like I made about Ikebukuro. So like, no, you're wrong. It was awesome. There's tons of restaurants and bars. And my counter to that, and I want to make a video about Ikebukuro 2.0. Because this area's gotten much better since I made that video 4 years ago. Ikebukuro, Wolfgang Puck will never open a restaurant in Ikebukuro.
That's a wonderful thing.
Exactly. So it means Ikebukuro is crappy, but
with personality.
It's like it's the Queens in Japan. It's like the Brooklyn in Japan. Like Wolfgang Puck's not open a restaurant here, but it's got a lot of charm.
I think Ikebukuro is trying to be Akihabara Part 2.
Yeah. No, it is, and actually, it's really sad to me because I hate Akihabara more than I hate Ikebukuro.
Well, the food sucks.
And I've seen it happen like where I live. There's literally now 2 main cafes and a butler cafe and a costume store within a 3-minute walk of my house. And it's just like, oh no, Ikebukuro. Because Ikebukuro, many of you may not realize, is famous for a place called Otome Road. And Otome Road translates as Otome. It's like, I can't remember. I think it's like Little Girls in Avenue or something like that.
Oh. My favorite is Romansadori. That's the nastiest. It's the nastiest street ever. It's like.
Yeah, it's so ironic.
It's like. But there is like there's a medicine store.
Great place to get whores.
Well, no, like right next to Romansadori's sign is like a pharmacy. It's like you better stop here first.
And by the way, guess. I was being paid when I did the video at Akihabara for Tokyo Eye, and you can't be paid by the national broadcaster to go on and be like, nah, not so much. I know the script says excited here, smile and point, but nah, I'm gonna go a different way with this and have my own interpretation.
Well, I went to a maid cafe. I took some people from Australia there, and it was like 2 foreign girls and 1 foreign guy, and the maid just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
She didn't know who to look
In the
at.
Akihabara thing, we went to like 4 or 5 different maid cafes. The last one being a transgender maid cafe.
Oh, I want to go to one of those.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I bet it was.
And the worst part about it was, this is so ridiculous. The owner of the bar, I knew. Like, we walked in, we were setting up cameras, and the owner of the transgender bar, which is like a tranny, is like,
What, did you like
hey!
him?
I was like, oh yeah! And like the director, the other guy I was filming with, and the cameraman, all just go, but no, he went to, you know, Danny
He left
Chu.
your toothbrush.
No. You know Danny Chu?
Sounds familiar.
Danny Chu is like this internet dude. He has his parties where he invites all these random internet people, but he's like specializes in figurine collecting and anime and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But whatever was at the party.
Right.
And Danny Chu's like, hey, I gotta introduce you to somebody. And I'm like, oh sure. I was like, hey, this is I don't remember her name anymore. I was like, this is my tranny friend. And I was like, hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You know, and then like it was so funny that like, you know, at a shooting in Akihabara,
Yeah.
we run into each other again. And that was like the most awkward thing ever.
I bet it was.
It was.
Oh dear. What?
But yeah, no, that's how. But yeah, and then actually no. This is the funniest thing. This is like this will explain, and I'm not bashing the show at all. I love Tokyo as a show, but the tranny who owned the bar is like, you would be awesome if one of the 2 of you dressed up in a French maid outfit. And we're like, nah.
Did you use the contest?
But I was playing the role of expert, although I hate Akihabara.
Right.
And John was playing like the noob that I was showing on Akihabara. So I had to feign being excited about maid cafe.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't do it because I'm the expert. But we get John to do it. And John's like, nah, I could, yeah. All right. So we get it. Then the day of the studio filming, we watched the video of the thing, and like, ooh. What happened to the video of John dressed as the maid? And the CP is like, yeah, we thought it was a little bit much. They're like, no, that is good TV. We did not get this guy to dress up at 1 in the morning in a maid cafe done by dudes to have you not use that video.
Did you film him?
And like, and to the testament of the show, the CP was like, yeah, I guess you're right. And then like they put in afterwards the video of that, because they're like, we basically were like, there's no way you're not putting that in. So it's like, the show is not unchangeable. Like when you've got like a good point, you're like, no, this is necessary for the edification and entertainment of the people. They will change it, but basically, the way, it's not a matter of it being NHK or that show, it's just like the way TV is done, you have to have a script first.
Yeah.
And that's got to be passed through several layers of people.
Red tape.
This is like the same way on any network, in any country. And then you're filming, and you've only got a certain amount of time and a budget, and so like there's not a lot of time for like, hey, I know it'd be crazy. You know, it's like, well, that's not the script, so no. You know, so it's unless you've ever done actual TV, it's very easy to be, you know.
Like, oh yeah, like, can't you do this? Can't you do that?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like owning a trading company. You're like, I would only import cool shit. And it's like, well,
That is the goal, but yeah.
But I mean,
you need extra shit as filler.
Yeah, like stuff that like people buy.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd be Village Vanguard.
Exactly. All right. So anyway, I think.
Okay. Yeah. That's enough of that.
That's we've introduced you properly.
Yay.
We'll save the thing for a different video to itself.
Okay. All right.
But we should say, what do you do? Which is, you're a comedian.
I am a comedian.
I still never know how to spell that word.
But no, the thing is, the whole purpose of the crazy ass.
Would you rather be called a comedian,
or
with the male gendered term, or would you rather be a comedian?
Well, no, here's the thing. On my card, I have it spelled the feminine way because everyone always assumes I'm a man.
Really?
They always assume, because when I say I'm a stand-up comedian in Japan, and it's Spring Day, they're like, well, like, you know, spring, I guess that's gender neutral, and they're not really sure. They think it's like a stage name. And so, like, I get letters from people, like, I got this from this one Japanese company. It was like, "Dear Mr. Miss question mark, Spring Day." And so I did that purposefully, but it doesn't make any difference. Nobody can spell shit.
Yeah.
And so they just, "Oh, hello, Mr. Day." And you're like, no, it's all right.
You've performed Spring, unlike myself. I only write Japan-based comedy.
Seriously?
I think
And family
98%
based.
of my jokes are to do with Tokyo
True.
or something Japanese, and it's intentional.
Yeah.
So I'm playing to my audience here, and I don't see a point in writing anything that's outside of the realm of the audience.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, have written a pretty much globally understandable comedy routine.
Hopefully.
And you've been to now which countries and performed?
I've performed in Australia, Dublin.
Dublin's not a country.
Well, in the city of Ireland. It's a big place, but anyway, and the UK, a few in Manchester, London, and then.
Performed in France?
No, I didn't. There's one English show, but I was there at the wrong time.
No.
Yeah, so it was like one time a month kind of thing, and I performed in my hometown for the first time ever.
Really?
Yeah, that was
Where
kind
are
of
you
weird. Kansas City, in Kansas, Missouri. People.
I always love the fact that Kansas City hates Kansas so much it decided to be in Missouri.
Oh no! All the cool shit's on the Missouri side. All the boring shit's on the Kansas side. Yeah.
It's like, but like even when the city named after your state is like, yeah, it's like if New York City was in New Jersey. Yeah, it's like New Jersey's like, you know what? I'm not getting this whole vibe, so I'll be across the border if you need me.
There you go. Let's see.
The other communities in New Zealand, the Fly the Concords. That's it.
There you go.
Foot Rock Flats.
Yeah.
You do with.
Well, no, like going to New Zealand would be like going to Kansas with a more interesting accent. You know, it's like there's just lots of nature, and apparently there's nothing to do but hike and eat. So
That's nice though.
but I don't drive. I need a place where I don't need to drive.
Well, actually, we should. Do you mind bringing that up?
No, I don't mind.
Why don't you drive?
I don't drive because I die.
Do the MS bit.
I don't have MS, you jackass.
Thing.
You just put any two letters of the
Whatever.
alphabet
It's
together.
like the same thing.
I have CP.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Oh, it's so different.
It's so different. MS is degenerative. And it kills
All
you.
human beings are degenerative.
But no, I have cerebral palsy a little bit. Just a little.
You're gonna die.
Someday. But someday you will too. So no, but like it's so it's not a it's not a big deal. But I think the thing was, but that was a
The big deal about the wheelchair guy.
I know I extended it too.
I know.
It's so great. Like I'm doing that joke tonight, and I'm doing more to it.
Oh God,
So
no.
yeah, it's great. But my dad was a bus driver as well, and he was just scared shitless by the idea that I would be driving, and so he just scared the shit out of me. He would be like, "Don't do that. If you do that, you'll get into a car accident, and then you'll die." And then I'd get upset and I'd start crying, and then he'd be like, "Don't cry, because if you cry, you can't see the road, and then you'll get into an accident, and then you'll die." And and so there, and so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just take the station, take the train." So yeah, that was a part of it as well.
There's no train in Kansas.
No,
There's one, and it gets robbed by
one.
men on horses every 4 hours.
No, we have like an Amtrak, but it comes through like once a day, but nobody knows exactly what time. Like,
It's so sad. Like I remember once when I was teaching, that like, I had a student who was like, I want to travel America, but I don't have a driver's license. Could I travel it by train? Which is like,
Oh yeah, we have this great train called Greyhound.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what.
Have fun with that.
I've been on Greyhound a couple of times, and that's an adventure.
Well, like in Japan, that makes total sense. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go anywhere in the country by train and be there in like 5 hours.
It's
like, did you try to travel the U.S. by train? 90% of your trip would be spent
derailed.
Probably.
Well, apparently somebody does it.
It's like even someone in California. Even California trying to make like a Shinkansen like train. Schwarzenegger's big thing is like, yeah, good luck with that. Like, I have a feeling my children's children will not see that happen.
But you know, trains are so great though.
They are.
And,
they are.
You know. And I don't think I have the concentration, that driving concentration.
Yeah.
You know, I think if I drove for any length of time, my life would be over.
My grandfather never let my grandmother drive once in their like 56 years of marriage.
Really?
My mom has only driven a car with my father in it once. And it was like when he had like 104 temperature to go to the hospital.
And he was still telling me how to drive.
Another time, he was trying to assemble this metal like pull-out bed thing. Because my brother was coming back from Korea, and he cut off one of his fingers in this thing, but not completely. So it was like hanging on by a bit of finger. He comes upstairs, and I just like pull in, like pretty much from university, and he's like bleeding profusely, and my mom had to call Bill Hedgecock, who was the other guy who lived nearby, who was also an English teacher and track coach, to drive him to the hospital. My dad was like, no, call Bill. And so like my mom was a great driver, perfectly fine and safe, but it was this weird DNA thing that men in my family, and I have it too, cannot be in a car being driven by another alpha male.
Yeah.
You know,
I understand.
Unless being driven by another alpha male.
No,
then it's like, all right, I trust him to drive. But there's no way I would let a woman drive the car.
No, I love you, Kevin, but you are a chauvinist pig.
I am.
What's really funny though is that I remember you came up to me and you said, Spring, women aren't funny. They're not funny, but you are. And you know
that was probably like the first month or two I knew you.
Well, no, you were dressed up like Jesus for Halloween when you told me that. Anyway. Jesus, his name was Jesus. You were a gardener from Mexico. Anyway, so please tell me.
I'm very certain about that very sacrilegious costume. But in my defense, everyone kept saying I looked like Jesus because my hair was long at that time and I had the beard. So I was like, screw it. I don't have any money for a costume. And that's when I was living with. That's when I was living in the embassy. I had no money, so my costume budget was literally buying a bed sheet.
No, but this is what I really enjoy about you. You said you laughed against your will at my jokes, and I've watched you laugh since, and I love the way you laugh because it's always a vomit.
Yeah.
It's always like you don't expect.
Like when we're chatting, it's okay for you to be funny, but there's something about stand-up comedy that and I've had tons of friends be like, "Hey, you gotta check out this comedian. She's really funny," and I was like,
"It doesn't usually happen." No. But
I'm always disappointed.
Except with me.
And even the best ones. And I can like.
You still don't think I'm funny?
You know, I parried that. I was like, if we were fencing, that would be a parry. Like when we were sitting around talking and laughing, you're my favorite person to sit around and talk and laugh with.
Yeah.
But like something about on the stage, the dynamic of it works.
So you don't think
no. And I said this to you. I think the same. I said, sorry, I don't think women are funny. I think it was either Ellen or Paula Poundstone who said, it's not that there's no funny women, it's there's too many not funny guys with a really bad Chris Rock impression. And it's like, oh, she's right.
But then again, I think to have a sense of humor is sexy. But to be funny is considered a masculine thing.
Yeah.
And, I've dated guys who tried, it's so funny, they've gone home and they've read joke books to be funnier than me. And it's just creepy and icky and weird, but
It is, and it's like there's a certain kind of like dedication in men that I'm sure women have as well, but it's also a little bit unnerving to see people. It's like the whole idea of comedy.
it's like having bigger balls than the guy, right?
Yeah. And it's like this is gonna blow your mind, internet. Second year university, English and Technical Studies class here at university. We're in a hat, go Q's. This professor pointed out, is it funny when men dress up as women?
Yes.
Easily answered. Like, or making fun of the tranny before.
Yeah.
It's funny when men dress up.
Right.
It's funny. Is it funny when women dress up as men?
Depends. It can.
The answer is
But
no.
it's usually
So
sexy.
we're gonna go back and pretend you said no. Because you're right. No, it's not fun.
Right.
It's Victor Victoria when it's a woman,
Right.
and it's somewhat hip hop when it's men.
Right.
And that's true because all comedy pretty much comes from one central concept, which is, and any improv comedian will tell you this, status.
Yeah, it is.
That loss of status or loss of power is funny. So that's why like police officers, doctors, teachers, presidents are great targets for comedy.
Yeah.
But like making fun of retards is not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny in the same way.
The
You can still make it
context.
funny, but it's like
Yeah.
like mocking people who are already put down
Right.
is not as gratifying to an audience as mocking the most powerful man in the world,
True.
who other than you would be maybe President of the United States. So that's why it's like always great to go after government.
Yeah.
The reason a man addresses funny is because he's lowering his status by becoming female.
Right.
Women are gaining power by putting on a pair of pants.
True.
So essentially, that fact that we laugh more at the one and not the other says that deeply seated in all of our subconsciousness is an understanding that women are
We're
at a
all
lower
chauvinist
status,
pigs.
at a lower status than men.
Yeah.
It's like a guy putting on a wig, like the Benny Hill, type of thing, is equivalent to like a guy sitting on a banana peel,
But I will say
tripping
this.
over a Tyrannosaurus Rex tail. It's like the oldest joke
Yeah.
in man stand up, not
Yeah.
funny. Man fall down, funny.
Man fall down funny, woman fall down just sad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like that's why. Same thing. A woman falling down, it's not as funny as a guy falling down because it's like I shouldn't laugh at that
Yeah.
because they're weak and we need to
Unless
protect
it's
them.
like the Queen of England or something.
Then it's funny.
Then it's
But then again, she's in a powerful status.
Right.
She's the queen, so it's okay to mock her.
Right.
If she's a homeless woman, no.
No.
But it really says a lot about what you, at some very basic psychological level, view the world like. What you laugh at and why.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was
That was
too
Comedy
deep.
101.
And we've got 45 seconds left in this
What?
video.
Oh shit. Total?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I have to hit record again.
Oh, I see.
So we're gonna be off the clock in now 30 seconds. Anything you want to add on this video?
Take a look at my website.
Shitpistonsmotherfucker.com.
That one too. Springdaycomedy.com.
No, there'll be more time for
Oh, that's
like
it.
self-congratulating promo. I'm just
Oh,
saying,
well, we'll do that later.
I'm gonna wrap this up somehow.
About what?
I'm gonna wrap this up.
Wrap this up. Wrapped.
Alright. And I'll begin in 10 seconds early. Stop recording.
I don't. What were we talking about? Comedy 101?
Yeah.
Does NHK know that you're being cheesy on camera?
Uh,
NHK is Japanese for
So you mean
cheesy.
cheesy on this camera or cheesy on their camera? Because they write in the cheesy. And again, you also might forget that like, you know this.
I know all.
Anyone who does what we do knows this. You play to the room at some level. You can't completely change who you are for the room.
Right.
But like if I'm doing a room for like say 10-year-olds, or I'm doing a room full of only Japanese people, or I'm doing a room full of Australian rugby players, my set changes completely based on the room. It's still
My
me.
language changes.
It's still me.
Yeah.
But I do change the set depending on You know?
Or you can just bulldoze right through it and just hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, there's different schools of thought. Well, like TV, it's the same thing. It's like, the Tokyo Eye stuff is meant for an audience that's expecting the type of content NHK produces, and for people who will hire me or fire me based on whether or not I can deliver that content. Whereas the internet is for, well, whatever you feel like doing. So, and they're both noble. Like, because that's the thing is, like, when you say art, only people who have never actually gotten a job in art think that art is complete freedom. Like, the best thing to do, it's why a Shakespearean sonnet is like so awesome. He's got to bring it in that number of syllables. That's what's awesome. Like, that there's a format, and you've got to bring it in that format. But how you make it good within those restrictions, that's where the majority of art is sort of like, the Pope saying to Michelangelo, so I want this ceiling painting. And Michelangelo was like, yeah, I was thinking about doing this, and this. And Pope's like, yeah, I was thinking more like God touching the figure of man. And as one of the greatest artists of all time, you go, yeah, I can do that. And it's you've got like the Pope as your boss. But like whatever the Pope's like, because he's the one paying you, you bring it. And some of the best art of all time has had some of the most strict guidelines for how it needs to be done. Almost all of Shakespeare's work was done, under payment from a guy who was like, hey, so my great-grandfather was this dude, I need to play about him. And by the way, he was a tyrannical, evil asshole. He better look awesome in the play version. And Shakespeare was like, yeah, I can do that. And suddenly you have like King Lear or like some or it's like, actually the guy my grandfather hated was this guy. Make him look like the biggest asshole of all times. Here's 20,000 ducats. Go to it.
What was it like? Dr. Seuss, he said, give me 200 words and I'll write you children's stories. Because they needed children's stories they could read. We only got 200 words. Give me the 200 words. I bet he drank a lot though.
Well, he would have had to.
Yeah. It's incredible. Shoe polish.
Like the best and most rigorous paying gig I've had was writing a children's TV show. And like if you like want to drive yourself nuts, write a children's TV show for public television. Like that's a great way to start a drinking habit if you don't already have one.
There you go. Well, what I always thought was the weird thing is, as soon as, like, whenever I work with kids, I'm tempted to say the weirdest things. Like,
I know. But that's the thing is, kids get it. Kids are hilarious.
They do.
I always wanted to write a book, but Dave beat me to it, I think. I haven't read his book yet.
Oh.
But it was going to be like DNA. No, I forgot the title now. Like DNA makes me funny, or like DNA makes me laugh. The title. And like, I really believe that we all laugh at the same things. But the Japanese don't laugh at handicapped people. Like they don't laugh at.
They laugh at me all the time, but they just.
But Japanese kids do.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
And so it's like it's trained out of them. So I think that we all basically, when we're like 5, laugh at the same things. But whatever society you're born into trains you to stop laughing at certain things, or trains you to laugh more at some things. So I think as kids, we're born, with the same sense of humor. And then slowly over time, the society around us molds us into what we consider proper. And in so many ways, but in comedy, that's been my experience. Japanese people, I did a joke. I've done jokes about handicapped people, and just like, why would you say this?
No, but if you are handicapped, you have license.
Actually, I told this story on here before, I think. But like, I was doing a show for NHK, and I was just an actor in it. And I ran into the host of the show on the street outside of NHK, and we walked to the station together. This was right around when swine flu was first coming out. And I said to him, you know what? Honestly, a couple million people died, mostly old and babies. Could it be so bad? Really? I mean, think about it. You'd get a seat on the train. You'd have to listen to babies cry on the airplane when you're going back to the States. And the guy was half Japanese, half American, but he talks like he's American. And I forgot that he's 90% Japanese personality. And he just looks at me and he's like, why would you say something so horrible?
And then he looked at him and said, "You've never heard of a dead baby joke, have you?"
Yeah, like you. What's the best one? How do you fit 100 dead babies into a glass? Blender.
No, my favorite.
How do you get them out?
No,
Salt on the ring.
Oh.
What's the worst than a trash can full of dead babies?
What?
The one living baby at the bottom.
No, I have to say, I love those. I love chauvinist jokes too. Someone told me one on my birthday, why can't women? Because there's no snow between the kitchen and the bedroom.
What do you do when your dishwasher breaks?
What?
Slap that bitch or tell her to get back to work.
How do you keep a man from drowning? You take your foot off his head.
I get it. So this is why I let the time run out, and then we can do the dead baby joke. There's a limit to what you can do on recorded video. Oh, Hiko-san is from New Zealand, and he's one of the nicest people, like one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. And he's and this is why New Zealand's not funny.
It's so disturbing.
Because
I'm sorry we've disturbed him.
like you need to be evil at some level to make me laugh. That's why like TKO Sam, by the way, I went through a couple nights ago, and it was like, it was so evil the things he was saying. But I kind of laughed more.
Hiko-Simon?
Hiko-Simon is a New Zealand copyright lawyer. Not copyright lawyer, just lawyer in general, living in Tokyo. So if you ever need any legal work done,
I might.
he's the guy.
Alright.
Sam is fine. He's getting fatter. He officially, and it's like, if I was that fat, I would not tuck my shirt in. And I almost wanted to say it to him. I was like, dude, seriously, you've got a muffin top going on.
Muffins are alright.
But a muffin top is not alright. Like a muffin, as in the baked good, is fine. But this guy is like one huge baked good.
Oh dear.
No, that's like, he did this thing where he started posting on Facebook a photo of himself in his underwear every day to motivate himself to lose weight. And that lasted for a week. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It lasted like a week. And then he went back to just being a fat bastard. He was like, fuck it.
Did he let people leave comments?
Everyone defriended him because it's like, dude, I do not want a daily update of you in your underwear.
I'll tell you what, I had a friend who posted naked pictures of herself with a family member. I'm not going to say who, but it was just like.
I'm really hoping it's Misty.
No.
I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to find her in your Facebook friends.
No, you don't, because Misty's dead. You don't want to think she's been dead a long time too. No, it's different. I don't really tell people because like. The worst is I set you up for that, knowing it. It's like even before when I was pretend fantasizing about having sex with her twin. I know that it was a stillborn. Well, no, I don't tell.
But for the sake of the camera.
Yeah.
It was a lot funnier going, tasty, for the camera, rather than going, yeah, you're a stillborn twin. Well, no, like I love. It kind of kills the mood. Sorry.
No. I love doing that at parties when I'm bored. You know, like they're like, "Oh, so you were a twin? Yeah, but she's dead." You know, and then and they go, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then they walk away. But it was just the conversation just goes.
It's a great go to the mountaintop and then back down to the valley.
And they're like, "How could you say?" I was like, I don't remember her. We were roomies for a few months, and then and then it just didn't work out. It's weird. I was actually involved in a dead baby joke.
Oh God. How do you eat a dead baby? I'm guessing nachos is the punchline for this one. With a spoon. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
The rice and onion. Oh! Damn! Snap!
Nice.
That's some improv shit right there.
Oh, we're going to hell.
Oh yeah. But in my interpretation of hell, based on the theology I was trained on, it's just a place in the absence of God.
It is.
Yeah. And actually, I should point out, all right, if this wasn't crazy already, if you thought there was no way this could get weirder, she's a born again. And a creationist.
And a creationist. I remember when you found that out, you were like, they still make you?
She's a creationist.
Creationist.
A creationist with a great slew of dead baby jokes.
Why not? Within reason.
You're a creationist. There's nowhere in creationism that's within reason. The definition of creationism is beyond reason.
Well, no,
the absence of reason.
No. I'm just saying I wasn't there, and neither were you. That's all I'm saying.
That's what Darwin was saying. We were not there.
Well, okay.
We were not like there, snap there.
Wow, that's another show.
Yeah. But I mean, just to point out the intense irony of this wonderful woman.
So is that what you tell people when they go, is she available? Creationist Christian? Oh shit.
That's nothing shrivels a cock better.
I'm a creationist Christian with a Caesar smell.
With that new car smell.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
It's cute when you say it now, but when you're 70.
Oh
dear.
Oh no.
I can't wait to meet your grandchild. Because they're like, here's the thing about your grandma. Play.
Grandma like dead baby jokes.
But like your grandma actually is a hilarious woman. I've only known your grandmother through your jokes.
She's still around. That's what kills me. Like
the sushi joke. It's very short. I know. I hate people. We hate being told tell a joke. But the sushi.
She's like 98, and she asked me. She said, "How do you cook sushi?" I said, "You don't. It's raw fish." She looked at me and said, "Bullshit." It's just that kind of.
Well, that's like I totally believe this woman.
Oh yeah.
Knowing your DNA,
Well,
that like grandma who says, "Bullshit." How do you cook sushi? Well, you don't, grandma. It's raw. Raw fish. Bullshit. I mean, that's like I totally believe that thing.
Yeah. And, what's really funny is that most old people don't try to understand what it is I do here.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, so your husband's in the military. And they're like, no, I'm not married anymore. And then, oh, well, so you're a missionary then. No, I'm not a missionary. I just live here. And then I do comedy, I teach English, and then this woman, when she was going, oh, I'm knitting a pair of socks. Like, just, cannot accept, cannot compute.
I think it's most people though.
Yeah.
Except like these few rare people who watch the show. Most people are like, wow, you look like this big. And like they want to space out.
Yeah, but it is the closest thing to the moon you can get.
No, it is. Like I remember when I first got here, my first year, my ex-girlfriend from university was in Togo, working at the Peace Corps. It's a small village in Africa. And she tells a story about how one day her personal hygiene set was stolen by a boy in the village.
Yeah.
And they tied him to a stake and put a tie around his head and filled it with gasoline and were going to set him on fire until she intervened and like, no, really, it was just a toothbrush. Like she's got stories that are like insane, right?
That is really
And
crazy.
we were writing to each other by letter, this is how old I am, when she was in Togo.
Yeah.
So she didn't have internet. And I was worried about like Japan.
Right.
And she mentioned this thing in this one letter how she's like back for a wedding. And she was chatting with people at the wedding and they're like, so you live in Africa, what's that like? And she's like, well, actually it's very interesting because the African people are divided up into various ethnic groups and and after like 2 hours at the wedding she realized the correct answer was hot and dusty. So, have you seen the most recent episode of Lost? Like, whatever. It's like no one really wanted to hear that show. No one really wanted to know what it was like. So when you find elderly people like that,
Yeah.
You know, it's like, whoa.
They do try to figure out.
They've been there and seen some shit.
I have a friend, her aunt is schizophrenic, right? And the aunt had a daughter who became a missionary and moved to Africa. She lived with her daughter in Africa and her family, right? And she came back because of like, you know, medical things. And remember, we took her to the Olive Garden one time and she saw an African-American woman. And we all were like, oh no, because we knew what was coming. And she went up to her and she goes, excuse me, what tribe are you from? And the woman looked at us and we're like, is she crazy? And she because my daughter lives with the tribe of it, and she said, oh, okay, you know. But it was just like, what?
But I had like my grandfather, and my grandfather was one of the coolest guys ever, and also one of the assholes. But when he was dying of cancer, throat cancer. He was a New York City fireman back when firefighting equipment meant an axe. Maybe a hat.
My grandfather was Dennis Leary?
Pretty much. No, but without the oxygen tank. They're just like, can we find some crazy immigrant who will run into a building with an axe that's on fire? Yeah. And so that was my grandfather. So he's dying of throat cancer. The nurses referred to him as the non-smoker. Because he was the only guy dying of throat or lung cancer who wasn't a smoker. But then it got to a point where it's like the doctors were like, yeah, there's really not much we can do at this point, so just make him comfortable. And so he basically like died over the period of like 6 months on her couch, which like I was in junior high school, and so it was painful. And he would say the funniest shit I ever heard in my life while dying of cancer on my sofa. And like I walked in one morning to go to school and said, hey grandpa, I have to go to school. Can I do anything for you? And by that I meant like get him a drink from the refrigerator, or help him to the toilet where he would shit, or like like that, something like like that. He's like, yeah, there is one thing. Could you buy me some heroin? I had to imagine like a 14-year-old me in my living room going, oh, sorry, what? Yeah, I was always afraid I'd get addicted, but I figure now, fuck it.
Your grandfather was that guy in Little Miss Sunshine.
He was, but no, actually, in Miss Sunshine, it was so less worse. It was like, it was half as, like, the reality of it. And I'm like, no, Grandpa, I don't think I can buy heroin. I'm in junior high school. He's like, all right, I'll ask your brother.
I seriously thought.
My brother's like, did Grandpa ask you to buy heroin? And he's like, yeah. Oh shit, he wasn't joking, was he?
I thought you were going to say floating.
No, God, no, that would have been worse. That would have been worse.
That would be so funny. Oh, that's too funny.
I know. It's like, that's probably the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Wow. When you have your dying grandfather ask you to go score some heroin. So if you wonder why I'm funny, yeah, that probably has something to do with it.
That's because of that.
Probably something to do with it.
Oh.
Like when you think like, wow, dead baby jokes, that's so wrong. Yeah. When you have your grandfather ask you to buy heroin for him, for his deathbed high, it's like pretty much anything that comes after that is less wrong.
Well, yeah.
Alright, we gotta get to the meat of the issue.
Yes, we do.
We do. There is a reason why Spring has stopped by for the second time. It's not because I love her so much. No, we're not going to steal it. We're not going to steal it. Although, actually, I should point out, actually, we have a show tonight.
Yes, we do.
We have a comedy show. Where Spring and I will perform comedy on stage live for real people. And everyone always says, like, hey, Kevin, I'm in Tokyo. It'd be cool to meet up with you. Can I buy you a beer? It's like, yeah, just come to a show. It's like, it's not like I'm a hermit hiding somewhere that you can't find me. Because even yesterday we were filming, and some random dude walked up in the middle of a shot. He's like, hey, can you take a picture? I was like, yeah, TokyoCooney, awesome. I took my hand, walked away. I was like, all right, cool. But like, at least he said hello. like I get like comments on my like page like, I saw you in Shinjuku.
Oh, I get that all the time. Like from
weird.
like no, I get that from like the old lady at the shop on the corner. I saw you come home at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know, it's just creepy.
And it's like you say
It's like,
something.
if you ever want to meet me or anyone in my life, we are on stage almost every week at this point.
Oh yeah, yeah. Except for no, it's every week. Every week.
So it's like we're not hiding. It's easy.
No, yeah.
If you ever want to buy a beer, that's the place to do it.
Take a creationist Christian out on a date.
Yeah.
Go on for it.
And by the way, she's really desperate. Anyway, if there's any attractive creationist men interested in comedy out there,
Who are sane. That's
all right, now you're making it impossible. Like it was unlikely. But now you just made it impossible. Because creationist and sane in the same person. Okay. But spring is actually the delivery help of comedy.
I am the delivery help.
Help
Health, yes.
of comedy.
I
Like
am.
3 people get that. The ones who do, seriously. It's disgusting. She is coming to your town, possibly. You're doing the Fringe.
I'm doing the Edinburgh Fringe in Scotland.
Scotland!
Scotland?
Is it alright if I carry on the rest of this interview in a ridiculously bad Scottish accent?
Yes, I think it'll be good preparation for me.
Aye!
Sure.
Aye!
Sure. No, my main thing is going to be try to not imitate everyone I talk to.
Freedom! Sorry.
Put your underwear back on.
I should have painted my face blue for this interview.
Isn't he Australian?
It's actually very little different. It's the parrot.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yeah,
Parrot
like
on your shoulder.
Pirate's 10, Scottish is 11.
Spinal Tap. So tell us about the Fringe. What's the Fringe for those who don't know?
The Fringe is a part of the Edinburgh Festival. I'm in the Laughing Horse Free Fringe, basically. And what it is basically, I'm doing a free show. It's a one-woman show called We're Not
Free.
Free. And the reason we're doing it for free is because...
No one would pay to see you.
No. Lots of people pay to see me. Is that...
Well, they do here, but
Yeah, usually because I'm taking off my clothes. And anyway,
I'm not selling this well online.
Sorry?
I'm not selling this well online.
Yeah.
I'm going for the self-deprecative approach to make it attractive.
Oh, I see. One of the thing is that the paid venues where you pay like £5 or whatever, most of the money goes to the venues.
Yeah.
And these venues that have allowed us to take their space for free is just going to be like a cash bar situation. And so, and with the economy as it is, and it's just everybody's having a rough time anyway, it's a really good option. And it's my first time doing the Fringe as well, so it's a good way to go and see what it's all about. There's like 2,000 shows, stuff like that. Paid and
2,000?
unpaid. Over 2,000.
Jesus. So this is essentially a comedy mecca.
Yeah, it is the largest festival in the world all year. It's like a month or something.
What I hate about you,
What do you hate about
there's
me?
only one thing,
The creation is
that you have bigger balls than I do.
really, yeah, and they're up here.
I would never have gotten myself together in a way that I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to do a Fringe festival.
Well, it was also an invitation, like, because Paul met me, like,
Paul.
Paul, he
Paul.
just said, like, he's like, why aren't you doing this? And I didn't, because I thought, like, there's like work visa situations, and Americans can't go anywhere unless you learn how to kill somebody first. And so it's just like, well, and he said you can do it, and with this being a free show, I don't have to worry about taxes and shit.
It's funny, he says, how many festivals there in Japan? Comedy? I think 0.
There is a comedy festival, but it's all physical comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
And there's
clowns.
contests.
Yeah.
I feel like Star Search like contests. I've done that.
Yeah.
Like me and Ken did Mom's Eye together. I've done Rakugo. I've done everything.
Well, you're also very resourceful at finding stuff in Japanese on the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've always found out about that stuff like after the fact. Like it's like, oh.
No, but like the idea that I'm saying you're resourceful and that you're going to a foreign country to do a gig.
Yeah, but it's
Again,
also
again, you performed in Australia, Dublin, England several times.
Yeah.
And now Scotland. It's like, hats off to you. I would take my hat off, but my hair is greasy.
I see.
That's awesome. if anyone is anywhere within driving distance or a Ryanair flight of Scotland, I definitely recommend going to see her show.
It's a great show. It's a culmination of everything I've been doing the past 10 years here.
Wherever you are.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great show. I love the poster for it. I dressed up like Dorothy.
Yeah, no, actually, I remember when I first found out about this, she was asking me to look at her photos for the thing. It was like, is this too slutty? It's like, spring. A flyer for a show could never be too slutty.
Well, and actually, we digitally like made the shirt higher up. So
why would you do that?
Well,
you just lost like 10% of your audience.
No, because they said basically, it was so like top heavy.
Awesome.
It was so top. I couldn't see my face.
The worst thing about my group of friends is, for now, the 10 years I've known you.
Yeah.
Every time you get on stage.
Yeah.
Cloudy, we mentioned him earlier, Cloudy Pondwater, goes boing, 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 like out loud. Like, no, very like he shouts boing, boing, to what he thinks is the sound of her breasts jiggling.
But I did jump up and down a lot.
And yet, at some level, we still love Cloudy.
Yeah.
Like, that's how wrong the people I hang out with are.
But another thing is like, this has been...
And you put up with it for years.
No, since second grade, ever since I've actually had to put on a bra. And like, what's really funny is I used to live at the top of a hill, and the school bus would come, and you know, and my mom was in a state of denial about my boobs, because by the second grade they were bigger than hers, and so she wouldn't buy me proper bras, and I'd have to run to get on the school bus, and I get on the school bus, and all the kids are going boom, ba, boom, ba, boom. And
but he's Australian, so he's boing, boing, boing.
Yeah, but this was in Kansas, you know.
But the Americans would say boom, ba, ba.
Boom, ba, boom, ba, boom.
That's American for boing, boing, boing.
You know, and I'd run, and they'd start making these noises in the gym, and people were like, who's clapping?
And she's semi-paralyzed on her left side. Just to add that to the mental picture.
There you go. Yeah, so, but no, I honestly think the reason I have big boobs is because I'm clumsy and I fall a lot. And
so God was giving you like protection?
Yeah, my nose, like, it's really funny because I've fallen like this way, and my nose is clear. Like, you know, there's no way I'm going to break my nose, because I've got these great airbags that keep them from,
so wrong.
Any other news.
So wrong, but still right.
It's true. Yeah. You know, also I could, put pencils and stuff like that.
So if you would like to get more of this, Scotland, what's the name of the venue?
It's at the Three Sisters, a room with a view.
Okay.
And it's
on the web.
August.
How can they find the info to see it?
You can go to my website. There's springdaycomedy.com.
Springdaycomedy.com.
Yeah,
keep talking.
And also www.edfringe.com, and if you Google Laughing Horse Free Festival, that's also there. You can get more free tickets, of course. Bring all your friends. It's a 60-seater, so it's quite nice. It's a very beautiful pub. It looks like a horse stable from the outside, like one of those castle horse stable things.
I'm not trying to psych you out, but David, the Scottish guy who's been on this website several times,
Laughing
with
horse,
or without me.
Not horse. That's later.
You're awesome. David said that me and him were talking about it. I'm trying to introduce. Actually, David was supposed to come today to watch this show and be here to talk about the Fringe with you, but he had to work.
Oh, is he available?
He is anytime, but apparently not at this time.
Oh, not that kind of available.
I'm not going to answer that question. I'll let him answer it. But like the way he described the Fringe was daunting. Like, because there is literally 2,000 shows. It's quite a thing.
It must be schizophrenic, because they're like, basically you'll be herding people into your show. So any
this is Dave the Scotsman with a big red orange beard. Sorry.
The beard is too much.
Yeah. it is. But he did lighting and sound at the Fringe for several years, so he has a wealth of wisdom to give to her. So I'm trying to make a connection.
Yeah, so you get to watch that happen, and then watch me cry.
But seriously, like if you are anywhere in the country of the UK.
Or the Netherlands or something. You know, I get a lot of people from the Netherlands and Sweden and stuff.
Sort of, I'm huge in Norway with men.
Yeah, Norway too, yeah.
But Norwegian men love me.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
Was it that Skarsgård guy might be stalking you?
That's probably true.
There you go.
So, anything else you should know about the festival? Or about you? Or things on other websites, emails?
The show is from August 12th to the 29th, 15 shows. So,
you have MySpace or like
I'm on MySpace and Facebook. You have to friend me. If you add me as a friend, I'll add you as long as you tell me kind of sort of who you are.
If you add me as a friend, I won't add you. Sorry.
All right. Well, I'll add you. Just I'm on MySpace and stuff. But on MySpace, that's just how I make friends with bands. Apparently.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter, but I don't understand it. Spring Day Comedy, at Spring Day Comedy. So I'm pimping the show, baby. I'm pimping the show.
Okay. No, I think the best way to get, viewer interest in the show would be if you flash your tits at the camera, just briefly.
Tits?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if you just did a quick, like, you know, and it's recording, but I'll delete it in 12 hours. But I think that would be a really solid way to promote your comedy.
I'll tell you what, I will. Once, I won't do it for a free show though.
Oh, awesome! Oh my God, I never imagined they'd be that big. Wow. Did you guys see that? That was awesome. That was awesome.
It's very quick. Yeah.
What's amazing is how once it came out, they hit the camera lens and impaired the viewing of the audience.
And my hearing.
I think that was actually a nipple that you saw very close up.
Oh, you know what? I had a friend who's really into like sumo wrestling and stuff, but he couldn't remember their names because the way they write the old fashioned kanji, he only knew them by the shapes of their nipples. Like, oh, there's pancake tits, you know, and it was just like.
So wrong.
It's so great though.
All right. Anything else we need to impart for recorded history?
You guys, great.
If you guys have any good question.
There was this guy, somebody kept asking me to describe you in 3 words.
Describe me in 3 words. 3 good words.
Skinny, funny, and insane.
I'm not going to argue it.
Okay. Alright. Your nipples look like milk duds.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Seriously, how did skinny come first?
Well, no, the thing is, I've been looking at your knee all day, and I was like, wow, those are really skinny knees. You have skinny knees.
Thank you for bringing up everything I've been hearing since junior high school. Seriously, because that makes me so much less self-conscious.
What? We've been talking about my tits, I can't talk about your knees?
Yeah, someone's like, hey, Spring, by the way, everyone knows how you're fat? Was that something I said earlier? That I don't remember?
No, yes I am.
Why is it always okay for other people to say, oh my God, you're skinny, eat something?
No,
I cannot say to fat people, Jesus, you're fat. Why are you so fat? Stop eating. Because that's so wrong to say that to fat people.
No, it's
but
not
to skinny
wrong
people, it's totally fun to be like, why are you so skinny?
It's not wrong in Japan though.
I've been hearing this since I was 12.
I said you had skinny knees.
I have skinny, well, almost everything. Ladies.
You can't tell midgets. No, you can't tell midgets that they're short either because they already know.
They already know. The thing is, like, I know I'm skinny. That's the only thing is like people say things like, why don't you eat something? Like, oh, I didn't think of that. And that didn't occur to me at any point. That I should eat something. Other than the biological imperative to eat.
Well, no, but the thing is, is that, skinny is cool, though. You can be skinny.
Not when you're skinny and people are telling you all the time you're skinny.
Well, no, David
the worst thing ever, and I'm sharing a little bit of my personal life, is when, yes, and Bowie is probably one of the few men who would understand this.
Yes.
Like, when you're having personal time with a lady, and you begin to disrobe, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're skinny."
Were
Like, if you ever want to be self-conscious, that'll do it. You know, that'll do it.
Well, if it makes you feel better, someone told me, "Wow, you look like a horse after a race."
Oh, wow.
I was like, "What?"
Wow, that's rough.
And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, then he backed up and said, "Oh, you're beautiful."
That's kind of hard to walk that back. That's
I know, but it was just so bizarre that it was so bizarre that it was forgivable. Like it was just like
no, but the thing is, like the only thing is, I've heard the skinny thing so much over the years.
Yeah.
I've become immune to it.
Yeah.
And it's also actually, I would argue that probably the reason I'm funny is because I've been hearing that my whole life.
Oh.
And been getting the shit kicked out of me by bigger, fatter kids.
Now I see.
You know, you have a physical disability.
Right.
And you're from Kansas. These are two handicaps that make you funny. I think there is something to the crappier like your teen years were, the funnier you will eventually be.
You know who I don't. I will never understand people who actually enjoyed high school. Like, there's a lot of people like that in Japan. They're like, "Oh, I loved high school." You're like, "What?"
Yeah. Best word is you're like, "Wow, you clearly didn't go to grad school."
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Oh, like see.
No,
I enjoyed it.
But by the time in high school, I was kind of already immune to the whole skinny thing.
No.
You know, like I'd gotten out of my system in elementary school and high school. So I was like, "Yep, that's me." And then I started to like perversely enjoy it. Like that I was the skinny guy. That was like became my identity. You know?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's actually an interesting progression in your comedy that I've seen.
What's that?
10 years ago, you first started doing jokes about the MS.
It's not.
I'm doing it on purpose. I'm sorry.
I'm not degenerative yet, Chief.
We're all degenerative, and you're the most degenerate person I know.
I know.
It's really like the first time I saw you do jokes about it.
Yeah.
It seemed uncomfortable, and like nobody laughed.
Right.
Like the whole room would just go, "Whoa, are we allowed? Is that? Can I laugh at that? Is that okay?"
Right.
And then I think it was like 2 or 3 years later, you did the exact same jokes.
Yeah.
But you said them with confidence.
Yeah.
And you said them like, "This is funny."
Yeah.
And the whole room laughed. And now some of your best stuff is about that incredibly personal issue.
Yeah.
But like in the first few runs I saw you doing it, like you couldn't sell it. And I've had the same thing. But for me it was more like sexist jokes, things like that. Where it's just like, "Oh my God, they're gonna hate me for this."
Right.
Like the women only card joke.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's funny, but I remember the first time I did it was at the Fiddler, and there was these two butch lesbians sitting in the front row. They were handing out flyers for some sort of what's the word for dam? Holds back water.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, you could say like a festival. And
the Women's Fest. I have seen that a few times.
But you said it, not me.
Anyway.
They were handing out flyers for that, and then they sat like literally at that like little round table right in front of the old Fiddler stage.
Right.
And they were like this, and they had like arms thicker than my neck. Right? And so the joke goes like, so they had this car on the train, the women's only car, for women only, because basically if women who were hot rode on the other trains of the car, we men would have to touch them because they're hot. So I've noticed that it takes like a lot of balls or non-balls to ride on that car, because you're basically saying, "I'm hot, so I need a special car." And the thing is, I know women, I know a lot of them, I've seen women all the time, but I know that women, if one thing are, they're only one thing, vain. And right now, I can guarantee you, on the women's only car, there is a woman looking at another woman on the car going, "Really? Seriously? You need to be in here? I mean, come on. Those shoes, that bag, honey, they're perverts, but they're not desperate." The first time I did that joke, I was like, "You really not looking at the lesbians in the front row who are staring at me evilly. Just never mind, forget the whole joke. But I didn't I had no confidence that it would be funny.
Oh, yeah.
And then after a couple times, I was like, I believe in this joke.
Yeah.
But doing it, and that's not a non-personal issue. Doing it something, because I never do personal stuff on stage. Doing something personal, that's hard.
It is, but it's also therapy, and like it just helps.
Actually, one more thing. Sorry, but like the first point I want to get to was, it's why at the end of the day I'm kind of a hack and you're not. If I think all the really truly great comedians, Pryor, Carlin, Craig Ferguson, I'll throw him in there.
I love Craig Ferguson.
Robin Williams, Dave Chappelle, even Eddie Murphy, all of them did comedy that was personal. It was about who they were. And I only do jokes that are cheap shots at Japanese people. Because it's easy. But like once you start doing material about stuff that's that personal and you start being that raw on stage, that brings it to a different level in comedy.
Yeah.
And so I'd say anyone in the comedy circle who could do a fringe show, you'd be the only person who could. Because you're the only one who really does stuff that's like real. The rest of us all kind of, we were funny. Actually, I think most nights I'm funnier than you.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. But you're on a kind of path towards greatness, yeah. That like me, Dave, Cloudy, Ken, any of us, we haven't even looked at that road. You know, like that, where you start getting autobiographical and you start like really digging into stuff. You know.
Yeah. No, it's really good. I mean, I've always kind of wanted to do this kind of stuff, and it's it's just when it's your way of coping with life, and you go, oh, I can channel this into like in communication and kind of talk to people about it. It's just really cool. But yeah, I just love doing it, and yeah, it's great.
Last thing, I'm gonna leave this open to you. If you want to stream your show on this, I'll give you the password.
Really?
You just need a laptop with like a camera and an internet connection.
I'll see what I can do about that.
Think about it.
Yeah.
It might be technically impossible to set up, but I'll give that a go if you're
interested. Cool. And by the way, if you try to find me on Facebook, I'm in the Japan Network. So if you just Google Spring Day,
Spring Day, you're gonna get tons of stuff.
You're gonna get tons of gardening articles.
Like Spring Day Tokyo.
Spring Day Tokyo comedy. It'll come up.
Not that you Google yourself and would know that.
Actually, I get more hits than Jesus.
But you don't get more hits. This time of year, not at night.
What? No, like there's a Korean drama named Spring Day, and there's there's a few there's a greeting card company called Day Spring. And it's a Christian greeting card company.
TokyoCooney is a actor who's been in like every film ever. He's the gray-haired guy who plays the military general or the doctor in like every movie you've ever seen. He's an extra.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
But he comes up ahead of me. And I'm getting close to starting to beat him.
Really?
Like on Google, I was like I was nowhere, and now we're like neck and neck. So I'm neck and neck with a third-rate Hollywood actor who has the same name as me.
And I think he's going, that bastard's catching up on me.
He is. No, he's sitting right now on his internet connection doing the same thing.
Well, I don't know, Trevor, if he's kind of picky. Might not be bad, but who knows?
All right, Spring. I'm going to start the video here. I guess that's it.
Okay.
But we'll still take some questions.
Sure.
The Fringe. Is there a date?
The Fringe.
That's it?
Sure.
But I can stay till like 2:30 at the latest.
Okay.
If you have to go.
I have to teach at 3:15. So.
Okay. So whenever you're ready to go, you can go. But I just want we've been very ignorant of your questions this whole time.
Sorry.
So if we could answer, and you said there was one person that had a question you had to ask me. What was that?
No, it was just describe you in 3 words. And you describe me in 3 words.
Oh, you in 3 words?
Yeah.
Breast, tits, and ass.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Oh, nipples.
Nipples.
I assume. I don't know.
The size of your hat.
What's your middle name? That's a good question.
Catherine.
Catherine.
And it's spelled weird too. It's like Kathryn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not right.
I actually met another Spring Catherine, and her last name was Septic. And she introduced
No.
me. Seriously, she
Spring
goes,
Catherine Septic.
yeah, no, and this is how she said it too. My name's Spring Catherine Septic, as in tank. And I was like, you got a brother? She's like, yeah. I was like, well, okay, I won't marry him then, because that'll just be fucked up.
Spring Septic. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the worst name ever.
But I really wanted to meet her because if people are like, I hate spring, no one's going to ask which one. Yeah, so.
No, actually, nobody knows more than one person named Spring, I think.
Really? Well, there's a bunch in California, though.
Whereas, like Dave, you know.
Dave, yeah.
Like Dave has a bit about being Dave. Not Big Dave or Little Dave or
I call him
Dave or
Dave.
Dave.
He's
just
Ned.
Dave.
I must drink.
I don't know if that's a command or like analysis.
Analysis. Yeah, anything with sugar in it, pretty much. Yeah, I went in high school. I moved around a lot, and in one high school I went by Katie, and that got annoying as well because it just seemed really sunny and shiny. And hi, I'm Katie Day. And some people still call me that. I went back once I was in university, and there were like 30,000 students. I thought, well, maybe individuality is not so bad.
No, individuality is also like. It's like, what if you don't like to drink alcohol? Will you be a social outcast in Japan? Wow.
You'll just be
you
friendless.
asked the two right people that question.
There you go, yeah.
So and actually in the issue with comedy, I don't, I think it was about 5 years ago,
Yeah.
I stopped drinking when I did comedy. Because I realized I was funnier sober than I was drinking. You know?
It's true.
And I don't know, do you drink ever when you perform?
No, because like I'm a sleepy drinker. I start to care less and less about anything around me. It's just like I'm going to bed. Bye. So I'm quite boring.
But there is a lot of it, and like I don't drink, so it's tough because like you have to come up with excuses. Like you're like, yeah, I drove here, so gotta drive home.
Yeah. I don't really. You know, I don't really care much, but then again, I don't have many friends either, so it's like...
I didn't give up drinking. Drinking gave up on me.
Oh, I like that.
But like, no, seriously, it is. It's hard in this country.
Yeah, it's hard.
Depending on your job, I should say.
Yeah, and your sex. Women have an easier time.
You can say no easier than men.
Yeah.
Men is kind of like a guy thing, like, hey, it's gonna be here.
But I do know women who are expected to drink and they just pour their drink in the nearest plant.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like my ex-girlfriend is, she's a bartender, funnily enough, and she used to like customers would buy her drinks all the time.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, kapai. And then we'll look back up at like a tea or something like that, like a shot of whiskey tea.
Right.
And then like, whoa, pound, you know.
Well, there's like a French thing that people do, like they just lift it to their lips and they just pretend to tip it and stuff like that.
That's the other thing. It's like if you just say, yeah, I love beer, and then don't drink it.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way I found.
Yeah, and it's the easiest way to piss people off too is like leave half-drunken beers everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this is bad. But if it was hot chocolate, I'd down it like nobody's business. You know?
Okay, hero.
What about hero? Jeep's gotta go. Oh, is that what that means?
All right, other questions? You got like another 10 minutes?
Okay, 10 minutes? Yeah, sure.
I'll get you there in time.
Oh,
10 minutes will get you there in time. Sure.
no problem. Does
Tell the story about the bookstore.
Oh God!
This is one of the freakiest stories I've ever heard in my life.
And let's see, I was just looking through. I forgot you knew that story. I was looking at some magazines, and this Japanese businessman came up to me.
In a bookstore.
In a bookstore, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. And he goes, and I went,
What does that mean, though?
He's like, can we hook up? Like, can I fuck you or whatever? And I was like, no. And he goes, oh, sorry. And I was like, what? Like, and then there was the other guy like I was going to the public pool, like on a Monday. It was like noon, and this guy's like, "Hey, do you want to have coffee?" I said, "No." He goes, "How about sex?" And
like how, when coffee is a no, do you think, all right, I'll go to my plan B?
Oh, you know what the best thing was that I had to call the cops because a guy walked into my house once.
Oh, that's a great story. I love this story.
Okay, this.
Oh, I love this story. Oh, I should record this.
Record it.
Do you want me to record this? I gotta record this.
Okay, so.
Hold on.
All right. Okay.
I know we said goodbye, but this is a hilarious story. And it needs to be preserved for the future of mankind. By the way, not all Japanese people should be judged in this way.
Just the one.
Just the one guy.
Just the one guy. It was like a Saturday night, about 1 o'clock in the morning. Someone walked into my house, and they walked into my bedroom. Just walked right in, and.
Wait. I know the answers, but why was your door not locked?
Because it's an old Japanese house, and it didn't have locks on it at the time. It's just it's just an old house. It's got locks on it now, but not then. And I woke up screaming, and he goes, "Oh!" And I'm like, "Who are you? What are you doing in my house?" And he goes, "I'm looking for internet." And I said, "But why are you in my house?" "I'm looking for internet." And I said, "Who are you?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm your neighbor." Like, and I'm like, "What?" So he goes, "You go to sleep. I'll be in the next room looking for internet." And I have another room that's just for storage. And he went into the storage room. He was in there for like 20 minutes. And I thought, maybe, okay, he's drunk, he's in the wrong house. Maybe he'll quietly go home. But he was still there 20 minutes later, and I called Cloudy.
Which is like what else would you do in this? Usually, like, we call Cloudy.
Well, and Cloudy said, "What are you doing calling me? Call the police." And I called the police, and then I thought, this is bad, because I don't know how to say it when I'm frustrated. You don't know how to say everything you need to say in a passive voice. You know, someone has walked.
I've actually heard Japanese. You're EQ?
I'm EQ, yeah.
So native speaker level Japanese, basically.
Yeah, so it's just like someone has walked into my house, and they assume that they left, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, "So where are you?" So I'm in my house. He's like, "And he is still in your house?" And I said, "Yeah." He was, "Get out of your house." I said, but to get out of the house, I'd have to pass where he might be, right? But he wasn't there. And so then 6 cops came. 6 cops came in like 3 minutes. They went in there and they got him out.
Did they taser him?
No, but they do this weird thing. They do this weird thing where if they try to provoke
New York or LA police would taser the guy. Just because like they have a reason to. Like this, they want to use the taser.
Yeah, but the weirdest thing was, right, is that they kind of closed in on him and he resisted, and then they brought him down. And, you know, and then they take me to the police.
The story gets weirder, by the way.
The story gets weirder. I'm in the police, they're like interrogating him for like 3 hours, and they're trying to keep me happy, and I told him the story about the guy asking me for sex, and he said, well, maybe he thought you needed to know that when he said coffee, he meant sex, you know, like.
The cops are like, I've been there.
You know,
I've been there. I've been trying to explain to a Ukrainian woman that ichimane means ichimane.
So then they said, well, his blood alcohol level was like 0.6 or something. He should be dead or something, you know, basically. And so he thought he was home. They went to his house. Apparently it was the exact same layout. And his mom lives on the first floor. He lives on the second. And because he was drunk, he didn't really mean it. It's okay. Now if he was sober, then...
Oh, that'd be totally wrong. That'd be really wrong. But like, no harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul. And he said, so then they said, well, but if he's in your house again, we'll arrest
Yes, we
him.
want the internet. Is that a crime? Is it wrong to want the internet? We've all been there. We've been drunk and wanted the internet and wandered into someone else's house.
Yeah, but no, like, it was just so weird. And the policeman was like, well, you know what it's like when you drink a lot. And I said, no, I don't.
No, because I don't wander into people's. I mean, I used to drink a lot, like a lot, and I never once wandered into a stranger's house. Like,
no, but you know what the funny thing is? I've met other people who have. like there was this one like
Who does that?
This German teacher.
Oh, yeah, Germans, but that's people.
Well, she said she like went into like the Genkan, the entrance area, and she's got this really long hair, and she was so drunk she actually crawled in. She looked like that chick from Ringu or something like.
Oh, wait, here's the story. So
anyway.
basically, the police are like, "Hey, come on,
yeah,
he was drunk." Ah. So what happens to the guy?
So they're like, and plus he takes care of his mother, and he washes her, and he feeds her, and they're doing this, like like a fucking clown. And I said, so he does it with a 0.6 alcohol level? And they're like, no, yeah, And then
blowing off steam.
Yeah, but if he's in your house again, then we'll arrest him. And then I was just like, and he goes, you've been there, right? And I go, no, I haven't been there. I'm into other things. And then they start thinking I like drugs, right?
This is the worst part because like I have so many stories about you we could go off of.
Oh,
any
totally.
one of these lines.
Totally.
Like remember when you hurt your knee? This comedy club, we used to have shows that it's closed now. And the owner, oh God, there's so many things. We've known each other so long.
It's so true.
That's a whole other like
the ambulance driver's first question.
The ambulance driver, what did she fell down a flight of stairs on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Partially because you have CP.
No, well,
but what did the ambulance driver
where are you from? I was like, are you sending me home?
What does that matter? Where are you from? Why is that a question?
Basically, one of the drunk Japanese women went off on him. What does it matter? And he goes, I just want to see if she's drunk or not. If she thinks she's Japanese, then she's insane.
Wasn't that part of it like that the hospital actually asked, has she been drinking?
Yeah, they did. They wouldn't. If I had,
if you had been drinking, the hospital would be like, you know what, tough shit.
Yeah, well, no,
drive her home and hope her knee gets better by itself.
There were so many drunk people anyway.
Look at this New Year's Eve in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's like, but the ambulance was like, no, she's sober. She hurt her knee because she has CP.
Right. No, but even the hospital, right? When I had the surgery on the knee, that you have to record how much you pee in the morning. Right, and it's like a list, and everybody's name is there, right, and everybody can see it, and but everybody's like 60, 70 years old, and so the amount I'm writing down is 2 or 3 times more everybody else, and the nurses are looking at it and giggling at me. You Americans have to do everything bigger and better, don't you? Even when you pee.
Never heard that part of the story.
Like, it's true, and they're just like, look at that number. Can you believe that number? She's like an elephant, and it's just like, and I vomit, and then you're like, wow, she's so loud. And you're like, what are you people? Why do you take her such ridiculous?
That is hilarious. All right, now, there's literally so much of that. But I have to point out, the reason why we have these stories, you've been here 11 years, been here 10 years.
Yeah.
If you're here for a year, you are unlikely to have anything like what we've described to happen to you. You'll have a quiet time here. But over the course of 11 years, life happens.
Life happens. Especially if you
and
try to
honestly,
establish
it's nothing to do with Japan or Tokyo. If you lived in New York City, you would have a very similar story.
I'd be dead.
But you'd be dead at the end of it. Yeah. But essentially, no, it's nothing to do like Japan being safe or Japanese being bigger drunks than on the stage or anything like that. If you live in any city with 13 million people for 11 years, you're gonna have a couple stories by the end of it. Like you'll be able to report back.
I've removed the carpet. Anyway, so
all right. That's essentially the drunk guy looking for internet story. But that story is too classic to not record. Thanks, Spring.
You're welcome. Oh, am I able to find clothes due to my handicap?
You're like almost handicapped to the point where you shouldn't be able to call yourself handicapped.
I know, and I'm borderline.
If anything, it's like you've used it as a crutch in only one way, which is a great way to get material through comedy act.
That's true.
Like you're the most mild. Like she does this one bit where she's like, she walks. Sorry, I'll do your bit. Like she's on the street corner, she sees some guy in a wheelchair. He's like, "What's up, bro? You got CP?" And the guy in the wheelchair looks at me. He's like, "What?" Like, we're not all friends.
No,
Just because you're also handicapped.
Well, no,
I'm in a chair. That's different. You know, but like you're like the most like non-handicapped.
I know. But there's different levels, right? And we're not all familiar with all the different levels. And disabled people have this thing of like we look at other disabled people. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like and like you know why are we in the same boat?
Yeah.
And then you kind of figure things out and like oh there's a lot of disability you can't see.
It's like being gay and being gay.
Well, no, but
You
gay
know.
people do put them in my boat. Put themselves in my boat, and I'm like really.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. It's like, no, I totally understand, sweetheart.
That's a preference. That's not a disability. But that's a weird classification thing. But like, my epitaph, spring is here.
Wait, when did this turn into the actor's studio?
I don't know.
Spring. When you go to the pearly gates, what is it you like God to say?
Coming.
What's your favorite curse word?
Fag.
If you could do any other job than the job you're doing now, what would it be?
Oh, I'd be an acrobat.
Is there any profession you'd not like to be in?
A bus driver.
Can't remember the other retarded James looking questions.
The sun sets on another spring day. Another spring day. Who's the other one? I didn't know. Well, that's because it's this side, and I'm not moving it or anything.
The gimp slide's off cam.
But you'd notice if you tried to shake. Yeah, the gimp side's off cam. But no, it's funny because I tried to go swing dancing with someone and ended up scratching the shit out of the other guy. And like, you know, the funny thing is, if you punch somebody, punching, everyone's experienced punching. Not everyone's experienced scratching.
Lord knows I have.
That's like a
But
fighting
seriously,
thing.
like the first time you try to have sex with a cat, there's a whole ton of shit you're not prepared for.
Is that what you call me now?
When I say I love pussy, tongue like sandpaper. Now, I love the fact that you're the only woman in God's creation.
Yeah.
I'm saying that for your benefit, not mine.
Okay.
That I can say that in front of and not be incredibly self-conscious.
No, yeah, I'm a dude to you. You actually.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you.
You have an honorary penis.
Thank you. And it's bigger than yours.
Which is why I said, like, you know, women are not funny, but
I have an honorary.
you're all right.
I keep it on the shelf at home. No, but like, I love. I love how you said, Spring, you're the only woman I know that I can invite to go to the Parasite Museum.
I know. Oh, that's where, yeah, you would be in. We went to the Parasite Museum in London. That's probably one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time.
And you were like my big brother, because whenever there was a parasite in a penis, you would stand in front of in front of that picture and be like, don't look at this. Don't look at this.
Any other James Lipton like questions or last things that we really should go in like 7 minutes is absolute limit of things.
Okay, all right, okay.
And even then we have to start packing up while we. I just want this to end. It's been so much fun.
I know. We'll have to do it again just before the show.
I should mount to make a dildo on the trophy stand. And Akane, by the way, is a American Filipino woman.
Oh, okay. All right.
So when Akane says to mount a dildo on the trophy stand. That comes with authority.
Spring's honorary dick.
I'm just worried that you'll use the trophy stand.
Oh dear.
Oh god.
I'll watch
no, that was wrong. I should not go there.
Yeah. In terms of the World Cup, I cheer for whoever has the worst economy.
I agree with that. Like whatever country is the more fucked over.
Yeah.
The thing is, like the Japanese have already given up on Japan.
Yeah, but
Like
they're
the most
home
pessimistic
to like
people.
HGTV.
They're the most pessimistic people in the world.
Yeah.
I watched the Holland-Japan game in a bar full of Japanese people with a woman from Holland, and it was like everyone in the thing when they lost was like, "Good job, you really got us. I wish we were better at anything." You know, and I was like, "Whoa, no! You're supposed to form a circle and start beating the crap out of this person with chairs." But they were just like, "Oh, well played." You know, it's like no, you just lost a World Cup match. There's no well played. There's throwing lawn darts at people's heads. You know, it's like, but they're just like they went into it, and it's like the first 20 minutes they're like, yeah, we lost.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm always happy when like Japan plays a rugby game and comes out alive. Like, like, cause like Australia, like their whole attitude towards them is, oh, they're so cute.
All right, one of my favorite videos of all time.
Yeah.
YouTube search All Blacks Japan. It's the New Zealand rugby team, the All Blacks.
Yeah.
And they're called that because of their uniform color. I should point out. Yeah. And before every game, they do this Maori haka.
Yeah.
Where they stand in a row of these huge guys who are just like, their necks are bigger than my waist.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's
like, and there's a haka, and like in a group of big dudes, while facing the other team, and like they cut to the Japanese national team from like these like huge Maori like dudes, like basically screaming in some almost dead language at them. And then they come to the Japanese and she's like, what the fuck? Coach, my knee's hurting kind of bad. I think I should sit this one out. Like, pause it when they go to the shot of like the Japanese team, but it's just this like, holy shit, we're gonna get creamed. You know, it's like the best thing ever. Cause like seriously, to be the Japanese rugby team and have to play like the Australian or New Zealand rugby team.
No, it's not. It's just awful.
Yeah, that's not gonna end well.
It's like sumo's playing infants. It's just it's just.
It's like the New Zealand rugby team could be like take your daughter to work day. They could have their daughters play the Japanese team, and it would still be a landslide.
Step on these people.
It's like, hey, you know, this would just be cruel if we played you. So, hey, Kimmy, get up here. You're gonna play fallback. And they would still slaughter them. That's so wrong. But,
totally.
Sorry, no, I don't mean to make fun of Japan. Oh wait, I do.
No, but we make fun of it because we love it.
Yeah, no,
we love it.
We do. I actually no, and this is like I would not have dedicated the better part of the last 4 years to making videos about this country on the internet if I didn't for free, if I didn't like it at some level.
You know what? Someone said I did a private party, and someone at the private party goes, "Oh, she sounds racist," and this other guy goes, "No, honey, that's funny."
Yeah.
And it's all about perspective, and if you understand that we love it, and if as long as you always only make fun of things that you love, and everyone understands that you love, then there's no problem, you know.
No, I think people who have been here get it.
Yeah.
But people who are not familiar with what it takes emotionally and mentally to live here continuously for a decade.
Yeah.
Like the amount of bullshit you have to be like, kind of like,
Yeah.
Like it is a certain amount of psychological damage you need to withstand.
Well, that goes for anywhere, but
anyway,
it's a
that's
special
like,
kind.
and again, it's like I always say, like I stop at the end of every sentence because I assume it's understood by smart people.
Right.
The same things we're saying about Japan, there's a really funny Japanese guy saying about New York.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
it's true.
It's not.
Oh, is that guy still writing for Maxim, by the way? There was like a few years ago, there was like a Japanese guy who had shit English, and he was writing restaurant reviews.
I only read
Maxim.
Maxim for the pictures of Japanese women.
No, I want to write for Maxim, actually. They're great. Like, they just got comedy writers and nobody does any research or anything.
Yeah.
It's like, 10 ways of how to squat in a building, Yeah. And it's just like...
No one actually checks and sees that those, like, no one goes and finds a squatter and be like, would this actually work?
Right, or how to fake a bar fight, That's quality, magazine material, I think.
Now, for me, it's the pictures of the really hot girls. Sorry.
Oh, that's alright. Bang.
See, there's always one.
What's that?
Are you in Japan?
Yes.
But no, it's like you essentially at some point, if you live in any foreign country and you are from anywhere, you will at some point start making fun of the people around you.
It's true.
Or laughing at people around you.
Oh, I love it.
And it's not a superiority thing.
No.
It's being in a foreign culture. You immediately start to notice things that are fucked up about that culture.
True.
And in reverse, I just wrote a blog about this on TokyoCooney recently. When I go back, I now find America more fucked up than Japan.
I do.
Which is scary.
Yeah.
It's like you start going back and like, oh, damn, I'm from a weird country.
Yeah.
More than I think Japan is weird, and that's scary.
Yeah.
Like I'm in Walmart looking at a rifle section, and they have like testers. Like rifles that are out for you to hold, so you get the feel of a gun before you buy it. And it's like, wow, that's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
That's so much more fucked up than anything I've seen in 11 years in Japan.
Any hot pictures of me.
But it was totally normal. I remember walking past the gun section of Walmart and being like, no, that's not the section I need.
Yeah.
But then like you go back and see it, and you're like, wow, or like the fat guy on the little motorized cart. And being like, really, the store is so big that you need a cart to get like from one end to the other.
You do. You need it, yeah. You do. You need gasoline.
Go back to
Oh, listen, I've got to go.
Yeah, we
I've got to go and I've got to pee.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Y'all rock.
You do. Rock on, man. And all that stuff.
If you're anywhere near Scotland, be there in August, right?
Be there. Add me. Text me. All that jazz.
Awesome.
Right.
Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you folks on the flip side. Stalker. He's up. Yeah, I know who would like to stalk this woman.
Really? Nice to see you too.
Later, folks.
Stalker.